Do you want to come across to this sexual assault thing?
So this is the charges being dropped.
Yeah, okay. So let me pull this up. Where are we?
This is an astonishing story.
Yeah, so this is a Geelong midfielder, Tanner Bruhn, who was charged with rape alongside a mutual or like an associate.
Yeah.
And a woman claimed that outside of a strip club, she was digitally raped, which I'm still trying to understand.
Fingers.
No, it's not. Is it?
Digits.
I thought it meant like digital as in the digital space.
No.
Is it?
Yeah.
Digitally and orally raped, she was, apparently, allegedly. And this went to trial. So the rape allegedly happened in 2022.
Yep.
It didn't there wasn't a claim until 2023.
So 5 months was the lag before the claim was made, and then another, I believe it was 18 months before the charges were laid after that.
So this has been going on for a while. So the reason I frame it that way is, can you imagine what this poor boy has been through?
Now, he's 22 years old now.
Yeah.
So this is over things that he was alleged, he's no longer alleged, to have done in 2000, must have been 2000, not in the year, but when he was about 19, right? And this is dragged on. He's missed an entire year of playing footy because the team wouldn't field him
at the proper level.
He made it all the way up. His dream was coming true.
Yep.
And then he hasn't played in a very long time. The character assassination that goes on around these sorts of allegations, the presumption of guilt instead of the presumption of innocence. And sometimes my own viewers get annoyed with me when I stand up for the presumption of innocence, even in cases of people that I don't like.
Yeah, where you think they're a piece of shit.
I still remind people, hey, this has to go through due process.
Yeah.
And this is a great illustration of why we have to be really protective of the principle of innocent until proven guilty. What really concerns me about this is essentially one of the witnesses fell apart on the stand and then went and confessed to a police officer that they didn't remember what had actually happened on that night. They were told by their friend to testify according to their friend's testimony.
Yes.
So they were just repeating what they were told.
Yes.
And it's entirely possible that they believed their friend up until the court case because the evidence wasn't stacking up.
Yeah.
It wasn't lining up
Yeah.
with what this person was. They said certain things happened and the security camera footage showed that didn't happen.
Yes.
And so then they were quite possibly discovering right then and there on the stand, hang on, I'm lying and I didn't know it because I'm repeating what my friend said and I thought I was standing up for my friend.
Are you giving them the benefit of the doubt?
Well, I'm just painting a picture of how these things happen.
Yeah.
Understand, there's in the book of Proverbs, there's a verse that says, every man's way is right in his own eyes.
Okay.
Right? And this is a universal principle. Hitler thought he was right. Pol Pot thought he was right.
Yeah.
Stalin thought he was right. Someone lying on the stand has a narrative in their mind that tells them why they're in the right to be doing that. And so I'm just trying to paint a picture and I'm trying to understand how do you end up in a situation where you're standing up on the stand and you're lying and then you crack. Well, I suspect in this case, it is my opinion based on what I've read and what I can discern, that quite possibly that person believed their friend and thought that they were doing the right thing, standing up for their friend who had been abused and what have you.
Yeah, okay.
And then came to the realization, hang on, none of this happened.
Yeah.
Because what they said to the police officer afterwards was the truth is I don't remember that night barely at all. I don't remember seeing the accused. I don't remember them being there. He
said that he was assaulted too, not raped, but as in like physically assaulted by these two boys as well.
Yeah. So again, my understanding from what I've been able to learn is that they're now saying that they were repeating what the alleged rape victim, or the accuser, had told them to say.
Yeah, so...
And that got all the way onto the stand. That got all the way into prosecution. This guy's future and freedom is on the line, and only because that witness broke.
Yeah. Otherwise, he would have been jailed.
Very likely. Yeah. And reputation ruined.
Yeah.
Forever labelled.
Yeah.
A life destroyed. Now, I would argue a life's already been destroyed.
Yeah.
So much of his potential will now never be realised.
He's going to have PTSD from that.
Well, there's the trauma side of things. There's the lost time. You can't get back the lost time, the experience on the midfield, all of that stuff. I hope he's got really good people around him. I hope that he gets welcomed back into the team and all of the rest of it. And I hope he's had good people around him the whole time. It does appear to me that there were many people that believed him when he said that the allegations were false.
Yeah.
But again, I'm only reading media reports. I don't know him. I don't know anyone that knows him that I know of. But it looks like he's had good support, which is fantastic. But the question now has to become, what happens to the false accuser?
Yeah.
That's that, and we need to be careful because
this is the thing I wanted to talk about, because I've told this story before on the podcast. A friend of mine went through this exact situation.
Yeah.
Also in Geelong, by the way, and same thing, all the way through until the accuser crumbled on the stand.
Okay.
And it came out that it was all a lie because I want to be careful with the details because I don't want anyone to look up this case. But essentially, she was jaded because he wouldn't date her.
Yeah, okay.
Right? So it stemmed over a one-night stand or like a hookup. And this woman stalked, harassed this guy for a long time.
Yeah.
And then finally turned around and said she got raped.
Yeah.
So much so, she deliberately hurt herself to give herself bruises and stuff, right? And the reason this matters is because when it got to the stand and she was being questioned, she couldn't keep track of all of her lies because different versions had gone to different people. And that's where they knew she was lying. They had to just get her to sort of crumble.
Yeah.
And then she did. And of course, the case got thrown out. But this, not before my friend lost their job, was fired.
Yeah.
All his friends, bar like a handful of us, disowned him. All of them. And the things they said to him.
Yeah.
His own family, it tore them apart because the little part of them was like, shit, what if he did?
Yeah.
Right? He has never recovered and, has tried. She got married, had a couple kids, went on, lived her life.
Moved on with her life.
I blame this solely, and you can correct me on this, I put this squarely at the feet of fourth wave feminism.
Largely, yeah.
Yeah.
Largely.
And the reason I say that is because, and I feel like I can attest to this because I am a woman, whatever that means to you guys. And growing up, I saw this. I have a brother who's like 5 years older than me.
Sure.
And he went through a similar thing with the CFA. He was he loved being part of the CFA. It was all voluntary.
Yeah.
And he got accused of doing something.
Yeah, okay.
And he got booted out. Nothing happened other than he just got booted out. But that was something he loved dearly. Now, again, I don't know what happened.
Sure.
But that was a scenario and it ruined my brother. He was devastated over it. And then, you see things like the Amber Heard trial with Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
And a lot of the Me Too movements and a lot of the believe all women people are now being proven to have been false.
Yeah.
And this makes me so mad for a few reasons. One, feminists will sit there on their soapbox and say that we need to believe all women, right? And they'll say that all men are abusers, women are oppressed, it's all men's fault. Never once have any of those women taken into account that women can be malicious, can be nasty. And I speak about this all the time, especially International Women's Day and all this bullshit. I'm like, oh, piss off. Women to other women are vicious.
Yeah.
Women to men who they've been scorned by. There's a reason Shakespeare said, hell have no fury like a woman scorned.
Yeah.
Right? This is not a new phenomenon. This is just hardwired into women. A woman who just decides she doesn't like her ex now and then takes her ex to family court and gets sole custody and child support and never lets him see his own kids. How many cases of those have we heard? Not to say that men can't be terrible because they can.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets muddy. If we can accuse men of being rapists and sexual assault, they're doing it with Donald Trump. He has never been proven anything, and they call him a rapist. So what you're saying, and people are going to get, I'm really upset about this. If you're saying Donald Trump's a racist because you don't like him and you think that he's possibly capable of it, then you're basically saying that rape is unimportant. Because the reason that matters is if he hasn't been convicted, there's no charges against him, and no victim.
Yeah.
I know that Jean Carroll attested that he raped her in a department store or whatever. I think that whole story is full of holes.
Yeah. And bring charges.
Yeah, bring charges. Why hasn't he been charged?
Yeah.
Right? But the left will run with Trump being a rapist. And then that basically means that the actual rapist is not that bad.
Yeah, correct. This is the problem with all of these things. If everybody is that thing, then then nobody is that thing. No one cares. And
so now what's going to happen is this, and I'm going to call her a bitch. Why don't we know her name? Who's the liar?
Yeah, well, look, again, if there's going to be potential charges against her, then we do need to be somewhat careful around these things when it's still unresolved from a legal perspective. But
we know his name.
Well, we know his name now. It was suppressed.
Yeah.
It was suppressed, and rightly so. But that doesn't stop the personal fallout because all the people immediately around him are going to know about it.
Yeah, of course. And the whole club knew about it.
The club knew about it and stopped him from playing and all that sort of stuff. So this is a really, really, really serious problem. It's number one, yes, fourth wave feminism, all that stuff. But ultimately, it's people responding to incentives.
Mm-hmm.
There is no downside risk for a false accusation most of the time. You've really got to play your hand badly for that to backfire on you in any particular way. And because, unfortunately, the family courts especially, and there are so many stories, and people share their stories with me in messages and things all the time, and it's just heartbreaking. The family court system is so loaded against men that by default, women know that they can weaponize it.
Yeah, I saw that with my own mother. I've told that story.
Yeah, and essentially it's like we see swatting on, computer gamers will get swatted.
Yep.
This is the Australian version of swatting. It doesn't involve a team kicking down the door, but it does involve sheriffs and police and court orderlies and judges and everyone else being on your side. If you're the woman and you play your cards right, you will have an army ready to go and fight on your behalf at your beck and call. And that's an incredibly intoxicating level of power, and there are women who are willing to lie to get that. Unfortunately, we know that that's true. But ultimately, if you incentivize something, you will get more of it.
Yep.
Incentives matter. Incentives change people's behavior. And we've created a world where there is an incentive for a woman to make the man that she was with or hates or has issue with for whatever reason, turn him into a demon.
Yeah.
Turn him into the devil personified. And all of the incentives are lined up. You know what there isn't an incentive for? Being reasonable.
Yeah. Of course.
Being easy to get along with, telling the truth and not playing the victim, and recognizing your own part in your behavior. There's no incentive for any of that. So normally on a podcast like this, when you've got two people, one of them is the brains of the operation and the other one's the eye candy. In this case, I have to be both, which is, oi, excuse me, this one's, Carly, this one's about me. I have to be both.
It's actually about me.
Seriously, I have to be both, which means I need lots of coffee, lots of caffeine. So you can help me to get lots of caffeine by scanning that little QR code there so that I can just carry this podcast on my...
And subscribe because I'm ridiculously good looking.
Seriously, Carly, can you not... Wow. She's such a center of attention, isn't she? Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Bye.